Hi, I'm Erica Olson with On Strategy. Today's whiteboard video is part of our series on how to develop your growth strategy. Today we're specifically digging into how to win. This is in the context of where to play, how to win, how we're going to grow. So digging deep on how to win is really unpacking what are your current competitive advantages and what do they need to be. So there's a couple of ways we're going to go about that. We're going to take it from a strengths perspective, and we're going to take it from a competitor perspective. So let's jump in. So coming into this exercise, I'm going to assume that you've built out your SWOT. So you're going to take the strengths from your SWOT, and from each of your strengths, you're going to ask yourself, is that strength different from your competitors? Meaning your competitors don't have that strength. If you answer yes, we're going to check the box off. Do your customers value that strength? If they do, we're going to say yes and check the box. Is it hard to imitate, or I said hard-ish to imitate, because actually everything's imitatable really at the end of the day, but hard-ish to imitate? If the answer is yes, we're going to check the box. So that particular strength, maybe it's your brand, let's just use that as an example, would then be considered a competitive advantage. If you answer no to any of these, then that strength is not a competitive advantage, but maybe it needs to be. So you would go through that for each of your strengths to determine what are your current competitive advantages and what might they need to be. So that's part one. Part two, let's take it from a different lens. Let's take it from a competitive analysis perspective. So pulling out a grid again, for each of your competitors, let's pick your top competitors. Some people have a lot of competitors, or there might be so many competitors that you might need to group them. So either way, let's say your top 5, just to make it easy. For each of them, you're going to want to ask yourself, why does that competitor win? Or why do you think that that competitor wins? And you just sort of, answer that. Why do they lose? And you'll answer that. And where do you think they're going over the next 5 years? And you answer that. You repeat that for each of your competitors, which is kind of a light competitive analysis. When you look back and zoom back for just a second, you're going to identify some places why you're winning and they're losing right here. And those are potentially competitive advantages or things that you're best at that your competitors are not. So again, it's a little bit non-linear, but absolutely stuff will pop out for you. Awesome exercise. Your team will love it. So you're going to bring that all together and you'll probably have a list of hopefully, maybe 5, maybe 7 things that you are best at. And again, that's a little bit tall order, I would say, to say that you're best at something, but better than your competitors if that feels a little bit better, and that your customers value. You're also going to, by default, identify those that you need to be best at, and let's put those off to the side. We're going to build that into your goals and initiatives, but that's gold, that's great stuff, so keep that when you build out your plan. So if you zoom all the way back out, we're trying to answer the question, how will we win? We win by being best at something, better than our competitors, and driving value to our customers. When you look at it, there are 3 different ways that you can be differentiated, or 3 different ways that you can win if you were to summarize all this and stand back and look at it. And this is based on Michael Porter's 3 generic strategies. One is on speed, so getting to market fastest. One is on scale, which is being the total lowest cost, not the cheapest, just the total lowest cost. And one is on scope, meaning being the best at delivering that unique value proposition to that customer in a very niche manner. There's a lot more to read on this. Certainly dig in, Google it, see all the paragraphs that kind of unpack this further. But you're going to know if you had to choose one of these, that is how you are the most differentiated and more different than your competitors and syncs with your competitive advantages, you would pick one. In this case, we're just going to pick scale. So when we're done with this exercise, we're looking for 3 to 7 competitive advantages that you have today, ideally. Maybe some that you're going to work on, we're going to put those off to the side, and a summary of how you're going to be differentiated. You'll bring that into the next step when we summarize your growth strategies. So check out the video on how to do that. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe to our channel. Happy strategizing.